Hey, what's up everybody? Today I want to show you how to create a big room distorted style bass drum slash kick. It's really simple to do, or this method of doing it is really easy to do. I'll just solo what I mean. Play that again. So obviously I do have a kick. I just saw that as well. I have a kick that I made. This is just this. Just a short, snappy kick. It doesn't have any bottom end because all the bottom end is coming from this. And essentially, all it is a distorted sine wave which has been sidechained. For doing this type of kick bass sound, ideally you want a kick which is, it's not got any bottom end. So I mean, I created this kick using free samples from Vengeance Electroshock Volume 2. So bass drum 42, 82 I think it's this, 85 sorry, and another one 132. And as you can see, I EQ'd them differently and stuff like that. I'm not going to show you how I done that. I've got I think one of the very first tutorials I done was on that. So all I'm going to be focusing on today is this. So let's go ahead and create a new combinator. And I used Maelstrom to create this sine wave. You can use 4 if you really want. So make sure it's initialized, the patch, and then you just want, it's just one oscillator at a sine wave. You're going to want to bring the octave to 3, and then we'll shape the envelope. Hold on 2 secs. Yeah, okay. So you don't want the kick, the kick sample to be interfering with the synth, so I had quite a high attack on it. So if you set your attack to around 77, what this is going to do is take the initial part of the when you play a note, it doesn't come in for straight away, so it doesn't interfere with the actual kick you have. So it kind of glides in, it gets louder gradually. So set your attack to 77. Decay you can leave where it is, same with the sustain and the release. Actually bring the release down to 0. Then if you route this oscillator to this shaper, we're going to add some saturation to this sound, and this really gives it a nice gritty sound. If see that without it. So you can add as much of that as you want. I think I had mine set to around 50. And then the last thing we're going to do on this synth is filter A. You're going to leave it low pass, but we're just going to bring it up slightly, just to let a bit more of the high frequencies coming off the shaper through. And that's it for the synth. I went and added a Scream for distortion to give it a nice gritty sound. So set it to tube, param 1 right up, and param 2 you're going to want to bring up slightly to 38. Bring the damage control down to 38, and then we're going to turn on the EQ. The low you're going to want to bring up to 9. Leave the mid and the high. Yeah, just leave the high. And so here now. Actually, I just need to. Sorry. If you turn the master on the Scream 4 up a little bit, about 108, so it comes through a bit more. So you can hear it just adds a bit more of that, you know, well, just distortion really. It gives it a bit more character and a bit more edge. And then if you go ahead and right click on that, create two M-class equalizers. For the first one, turn on the low shelf, param 1 and param 2. Low shelf frequency, pull up to 162. The gain you're going to want up at 6.3. And the Q you're going to want to leave where it is. Param 1, if you bring it down to 187. The gain you're going to want at minus 9.7. And param 2 you're going to want to bring down slightly to about 700, about 728. And the gain, again, you're going to want to bring down a lot this time to, yeah, about minus 12.6. And the Q you're going to want to bring up to 8. So basically, in this EQ, you want to cut out the frequencies. How you EQ this depends on the kick drum sample you're using, because you need to have both of them working together. So I'm kind of cutting out frequencies that interfere with my kick drum. It might be slightly different for you, so you'll have to, you know, play around and figure that out. On the second EQ, I'm just going to turn on param 1. Going to bring it down to 127 hertz. 126 I'll do. Minus 6.3 decibels. And Q up a bit to 14. So if I play this now, you hear with it on, I've increased the bass, but I've cut out these frequencies. I mean, it might not sound that different to you, but when you play it together with the kick, these frequencies, it sounds a lot better. It just tunes this synth to the kick a lot better, so they play off each other a lot better. But as I say, how you do that will depend on the samples and how you EQ your kick drum. And then the final thing is just a compressor, quite a heavy compressor as well. So I'm going to set the input to about 7.7. The threshold I'm going to bring down to about minus 24. Ratio going to bring up a bit to 7.96 over 1. Attack right the way up, and a fast release. And then output gain as well I'm going to touch up a bit. And this just kind of adds to the distortion. It's kind of over compression. I wouldn't usually use those settings, but it just adds a bit more warmth to this type of sound. And also, I mean, that is it for the actual synth. You can play around with the shaper. Really distorted. You can also try out different scream settings. I added a sine chain to mine, so it gave it a kind of more of a pumping effect. So you can do that as well. You see, yeah, down here I had a side chain compression set to it. And that's really it. So, what am I doing? Hey. So there you have one distorted kick. Oh yeah, an important point to mention is to the notes you put in. So what's that? C, D, E, F, F I've used there. That should be the same note as whatever synth you're using on top. Yeah. So, oh yeah, another thing, this synth This is part of my third refill pack. These two sounds are both going in it. There's a lot more sounds obviously going in it as well. If you want to request some sounds for my new refill pack, then I had a feed on my Facebook page from about a couple of weeks ago, I think. So head over there and just put a comment in saying what you think would be good to have in the pack. I've been going through it and trying to put as many in as I possibly can. And apart from that, I think that's everything. So I know I said this before, but I'm actually going to keep up with the tutorials again. I know it's been a while since I've done any, but I'm going to try my hardest to keep putting one out at least once a fortnight. So also, if you send me some requests for that as well. Right, cheers guys, I'll see you next time.